Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. I've a very exciting announcement. As I did mention on the WhatsApp group, we're doing an Instagram Live this Friday in place of Gravity, which is going to be a lot of fun. Please do tune in. We have some very cool announcements we're going to be making about what Gravity will look like going forward during this lockdown period. So please do tune in. It's going to be quite a lot of fun. I think Darren and myself will be on it. We'll be chatting. We'll be chatting with some of you guys. It's going to be quite fun. So please do tune in. It's going to be quite a vibe. In the meantime, I wanted to take you guys through a prayer in Ephesians 3, verse 16 to 19. And I want to do that because what I find often in my quiet times in my personal spiritual life is I find it quite difficult sometimes knowing what to pray for and knowing what to ask God for. And I know that that's something a lot of you guys struggle with sometimes, is knowing actually how to pray or knowing what to pray. Or, what does God want to hear from us? And the answer to that is God wants to hear everything from you. But something that I found really helpful is finding a prayer in the New Testament that Jesus, or this prayer is by Paul, prayed, and using that as a guide that we can use to kind of structure our prayers or to see what we should be praying for or things that we could be asking God for. So this prayer says, I pray that out of His glorious riches He may strengthen you with power through His Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power, together with all the saints, to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God. And I find it very helpful to take a prayer like that Paul has prayed for the Ephesians, and to pray that over my friends, over my family, and to pray that over myself, actually, to kind of look at what Paul's praying for in that passage, and to use that to ask God to come and give us that. He prays that out of God's glorious riches we'd be strengthened with power through God's Spirit in our inner being, so that Christ would dwell in our hearts through faith. So pray that. It's a biblical thing. It's a godly thing to pray that we would have power through the Spirit. Actually, it's a biblical thing to pray that we would understand this love that Christ has for us, that we'd be able to grasp it, that we'd have this knowledge that surpasses understanding. So can I encourage you this week, find a prayer that Jesus did in one of the Gospels, find a prayer that Paul wrote in one of his epistles or his letters to the churches, and use that as a guide that you can follow, something that can kind of take you through a prayer process and kind of get you started and give you kind of an understanding of the type of things we can be asking and the type of things that God wants to hear. Have a good week. Stay isolated, stay in lockdown, stay connected to each other. There's lots of things you can be doing online to stay connected, and I'll see you guys soon.